Hello, I'm Professor Robert Young from the University of Manchester. I'm Professor of Polymer Science and Technology in the School of Materials and also in the National Graphene Institute. I'm going to tell you a little bit about materials that are used in composites. In this day and age, we're interested in materials that are very strong, very stiff, for a whole variety of uses such as sports goods or transport, and composite materials are widely used in that context. The type of materials that we're interested in composites are normally fibers. This is a reel of Kevlar fiber. This is a very strong, stiff fiber made from polymer molecules. You can see it has a characteristic yellow coloration. And people take these fibers and then they weave them into fabrics and cloths, and then you impregnate the cloth with a resin, and you can end up producing a composite of this particular form. You can probably see the woven structure in there, where the fibers are woven in that direction and that direction, like a conventional fabric. But if you impregnate it with a resin, you then produce something which is very strong and very stiff. You might have the fibers in a woven structure, or you might have the fibers in an aligned structure like this tape. In all cases, however, the composite is very stiff and strong. There are a variety of different fibers that can be used. A commonly used fiber these days in aerospace and other activities is carbon fibers. I have here a carbon fiber panel. This is woven from a fabric of carbon fibers. They're impregnated with a resin, and this particular component is used in a Formula One car as a rear wing which gives the car downforce. It normally operates this way around like an upside down wing, so the pressure is downwards. It has to be very light, very strong, very stiff for use in Formula One. Now, graphene is a very strong, very stiff material, very light, and people are very keen on using it in applications such as composites. This is where you take graphene flakes and you mix them with a polymer resin, and then you mold them into some type of component. We're at the very start of this technology, but already we have articles which are made using graphene. This is a commercially available tennis racket, said to be used by the top players at Wimbledon, and this contains graphene in its structure. The fibers in the racket are normally carbon fibers, and they go around the outside of the head of the racket, and then you also have carbon fibers in the shaft here. But the problem comes where you have the fibers in the shaft meeting the fibers in the head. In that area you have a lot of plastic resin, which is relatively weak compared with the material reinforced by fibers, and this is where you find the graphene is added to give strength, stiffness and resilience in the junction here between the different fibers.